Hey viewers, this is a bike I bought recently. It's a Nishiki Prestige, and one of the things I noticed is when I spun the wheel that it seems to slow down pretty quickly, slower than it really should. So that led me to believe that either the hub or the freewheel is kind of a little gummed up. So one of the things I was do to test it, if I pedal it backwards, notice how the wheel starts moving backwards. So that kind of leads me to believe that it's the freewheel that's gummed up. So I'm going to pull the wheel off and I can test a little further here. If I hold the wheel by the axle, I can spin the wheel and that actually turns pretty well. So now what I can do is I can just try spinning the freewheel and notice how fast that stops there. It stops pretty quickly. So that leads me to believe that it's the freewheel is kind of gummed up inside. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. The first thing I want to do is remove the freewheel from the wheel. So I can remove the skewer here, or at least this part of it here. And then depending on the type of freewheel you have, you might need different types of freewheel tools. This I think is a Sun Tour freewheel. So I have a park tool here. It's an FR3. If you have Shimano or different types of freewheels require different removal tools. So this one fits right on there like that. Now with the kind of tools that use like teeth like this, I like to use the skewer to hold it on there. If it has like splines like the Shimano type, then I usually don't. But so I'm going to put this on there and that'll help hold the tool into the little notches on the freewheel so that it doesn't like slip off, because this type of tool has a habit of trying to, the teeth slip in there and stripping out the thing. So now I have a big breaker bar with a 1-inch socket on there which fits onto the park tools. So I'm going to use this and try to unscrew the freewheel here. So depending on how tight it's going to be. Okay, I had to actually take this and place against the wall in order to get it broken loose. I have another video on how to free up a really stuck freewheel like this. So I can remove this now and then just spin the freewheel off. And so I have the freewheel off the wheel like that. So now I have the freewheel sitting in a little Tupperware tub here, and what I'm going to use is WD-40 to help clear out the old grease out of there. So what I'm going to do is spray into this little seam, because if you see here, this inner part, if I hold that, it stays static, and this part out here moves. So I want to spray WD-40 into that seam there and flood the inside of the freewheel with WD-40 there, and then I'll work the freewheel here. And already I can start to feel like the pawls in there a little bit. And I'll spray more in there. And I want to try to work out all the old grease out of there. Ah, there, it's already turning nice and smoothly now, like that. Okay, and I'm going to keep flooding this. I want to get all that old grease out of there. Now we want to try to get as much of that WD-40 out of there as we can. So I have like a paper towel. I can kind of wipe it down on this side here. And what I can also do is just tamp it down like that, so you can kind of see some of the WD-40 coming out of there. Tamp it down like this. And also if you have compressed air, you can use compressed air to kind of blow down into that crack and help blow it out through the other side. So try to get as much of that WD-40 out of there as you can. WD-40 is like a water displacer, a great solvent, but it's not a good lubricant, especially for like bearings, not for long term. So we want to get that out of there, and we can use a better lubricant in there. Okay, once you've gotten as much of the WD-40 out of there as you can, and you can probably even let it just sit around for a little bit, help it kind of dry out. You want to use like a lubricating oil. I recommend Phil Tenacious oil. You may find this at your local bike shop. You can find it online. It's kind of a thicky, sticky oil that's very well suited to like the bearings in Freewheels. So now what we want to do is kind of pour some of this into that seam around there, and we can kind of rotate the Freewheel to kind of let it work its way down in there. So we want to get it pretty well flooded inside there, and you'll start to feel and hear a difference in the how the bearings and the pawls inside are working as it works its way down. And we want to keep getting it in there until it starts coming out the other side. Because there's a set of bearings on this side here, and there's a set of bearings down on the other side, and we want to make sure we get down the oil all the way down to those bearings as well. And we want to get oil on the pawls. Because you'll start to see oil coming out through there. Okay, when you can very clearly see oil coming out from the other side, that means you've got oil going all the way through there. So now, using like a paper towel, you can wipe off this excess here. And you can kind of tamp it down, maybe get some of the excess out of there a little bit. Wipe it out down there. So now the Freewheel is ready to reinstall onto the wheel. So I've got the wheel here, and I can take the Freewheel and just manually screw this on until it's relatively just hand tight on there. And pull a skewer off there, take my tool, put that on there. Again, fit this skewer on there so it doesn't slip off. Take my tool, and I'm just going to tighten it on there. I don't need to really crank it on there because just riding it will tighten it on there even more. But just kind of tighten it on there pretty well. And then I can remove the tool. Remount the spring for the skewer, put this back on there. And now I'm ready to remount the wheel on the bike. Okay, I've got the wheel remounted on the bike. Give it a spin, and it spins much smoother now. Anyway, that is how to fix a sticky Freewheel. Hope that helped. Hope you found it interesting. If you did, please click like on the video. I always appreciate getting likes on my videos, and it helps me out. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and click the big subscribe button there, and you'll see new videos as they come out. And I'm also over on Facebook, RJ the Bike Guy. Go over there, like that page, and I post a lot of stuff over there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.